What is the spiritual dream meaning of arguments? What if the loudest, most vicious argument of your life wasn't happening in your kitchen, but in your own soul, while you were asleep? Let me tell you about Zelda Fitzgerald. You might know her as a painter, a writer, a dancer, but really, her entire life was one long, brutal argument. She argued with her husband, F. Scott Fitzgerald. I mean, he literally stole pages from her diary and published them as his own work. She fought him on it in letters, in public, anywhere she could.
But she was also arguing with an entire society, a psychiatric system that had a very simple fix for women who were too brilliant, too loud, too much. You just lock them away. You call them hysterical. You call them mad.
And her life ended the way she lived it, trapped. She died in a fire at a mental hospital, locked in a room. A final, horrifying silence.
But here is the entire point. Zelda kept a dream diary. And in her dreams, the arguments never, ever stopped. They got louder, violent storms, doors that wouldn't open, furious confrontations with shadows. Her dreams were screaming everything her waking life was forbidden to even whisper. She argued in her dreams because she couldn't argue in her life. It was the only courtroom her soul had left. And that right there is exactly what your argument dreams are doing for you. Her story isn't just some historical tragedy. No, it's a mirror. Which brings us to all those questions, right? The ones that are probably swimming in your head right now. The ones that wake you up, heart pounding. Like, why do you keep having these horrible fights with your partner or your mom or your best friend in your dreams? You go to sleep just fine and then bam, you're in an all-out war over nothing and you wake up feeling awful. And why do they feel so real? I mean, more real than actual conversations. The emotions are 1,000 times more intense than any argument you'd ever have during the day. And what about the aftermath? Why do you wake up feeling completely drained, like you've been through a battle? Or sometimes even weirder, you wake up feeling relieved, like something important was finally said out loud. And then you get the really bizarre ones. A screaming match with some faceless person on the street, a tense, unresolved argument with a relative who passed away years ago, or the most disturbing one of all, arguing with yourself. What is that about?
Okay, let's get one thing straight. These dreams are not random junk. They are not your brain just cleaning house. They are urgent coded messages.
Think of it this way. Your conscious mind, your waking self, it uses words. It sends emails and texts. But your unconscious mind, it doesn't have a keyboard. Its language is symbols, raw emotion, and conflict. It creates a crisis to make you feel something you've been pushing down. And that something is always a suppressed truth. So let's be very, very clear. The dream is almost never about what you think you're arguing about. That fight about the dishes, it's not about the dishes. It's a stage for all the unspoken feelings, the unmet needs, the conflicts you are too afraid to face when you're awake. And look, this isn't just a modern psychological take. For centuries, spiritual traditions all over the world, from Jungian psychology to indigenous American beliefs to West African practices, they've all seen these dream battles as the soul's attempt to heal itself. It's a sacred negotiation. Which brings us right back to Zelda. Just like her, your dreaming mind is the one place you absolutely cannot be silenced. It's the one place where the truth, no matter how ugly or inconvenient, gets the microphone. So, here is the most important takeaway. You have to completely reframe this. That argument you had in your dream last night, it is not the problem. It is a diagnosis. That's it. It's your soul handing you a medical chart, pointing to the exact spot and saying, it hurts right here. So stop focusing on who said what. Focus on the feeling. Was it fury, despair, betrayal? That feeling is the message. It is a direction. It's a compass needle that is pointing you exactly where you need to look to start healing. Who were you fighting? That person is just a symbol. They represent the part of your life or the part of yourself that is screaming for your attention. And most urgently, it is a lifeline. It is your deepest self throwing you a rope, desperately trying to pull you out of a situation your conscious mind is too polite or too terrified to acknowledge. It's a warning shot. You cannot afford to hit the snooze button on this. Ignoring these dreams is like ripping a fire alarm off the wall because the noise is annoying you. The dream isn't the fire.
It's the alarm trying to save you from what's burning.
So when you wake up from the next one, there's really only one question to ask yourself. What is my soul screaming at me? And am I finally ready to listen?
Part 2. All right, let's get right into it. If you're dreaming about arguments, you need to hear this, and you need to hear it now. These are not just random stress dreams. This isn't just noise. It's a signal.
No, your psyche is screaming for your attention. Each one of these dreams is a specific, targeted emergency alert about what is fundamentally wrong in your life. And let me be clear, ignoring them, it's not an option.
Okay, first signal. And this is a big one. It's about your internal civil war, the arguments you have with yourself. This has nothing to do with anyone else. This is all about you versus you.
So, this war, it's being fought on 2 main fronts. First, you might be dreaming about arguing with your mother. Look, this is almost never about your actual mom. It's a battle with that nagging, relentless inner critic. You know, the voice that tells you what you should be. Then, there's the second front, arguing with a complete stranger. But here's the secret, the part you have to get. That stranger is you. It's a disowned piece of yourself. The power, the desire, the authentic part of you that you've been taught to push down and hide. So what do you do with this? Right now, this is urgent work, not something for later. First, you're going to write down the exact words from the dream. You need to identify that inner critic's voice. Second, describe the stranger. Really describe them. What were they fighting for? Because I promise you, what they were fighting for is what a part of you is desperately screaming for. And finally, you have to ask yourself the hard question. Is what my inner critic is saying even true? All right, let's move on. The next signal is all about unfinished relational business. It's about what you are absolutely not saying when you are awake, the words you swallow, the truths you push down to keep the peace.
Think of these dreams as a diagnostic test that your subconscious is running on your relationships. So if you're arguing with your partner, or even an ex, your dream is basically holding up a mirror to the truths you are too afraid to speak out loud. And what if you're arguing with someone who has passed away? That is a crystal clear signal that your grief isn't finished. There's unresolved emotional business there, and it's demanding to be heard.
And I need you to understand this. These dreams are not here to scare you. These are not hauntings. They are invitations, plain and simple. An invitation to find closure, to finally say what was left unsaid, and to actually begin to heal.
Okay, the third major alert system. We're talking about the power dynamic now. This is about your power, your place in this world. This is the moment your soul sounds the alarm because it knows you were playing small. So if you dream that you're arguing and losing, you know that feeling. When you can't find the words or you're screaming and no one is listening, that is a direct mirror of how powerless you feel in your waking life. It's a massive alarm bell from your psyche about learned helplessness. Now, what if you're arguing with a boss or some other authority figure? The message here is different and it's critical. This means your personal power is actively under attack. You are tolerating being undervalued, and your subconscious is screaming at you that you are living so far beneath your potential. But what if you argue and you win? Whatever you do, do not dismiss this as just your ego. This is a gift. It's a blueprint from your soul showing you exactly what's possible. It's showing you the version of yourself who speaks her truth without one single apology. And you need to pay attention to how you won in that dream, because those are your instructions. All right, now we get to the most urgent signals your psyche can possibly send. We're talking about the psyche's SOS signal. These are the red alerts, the 5-alarm fires. These are the dreams you absolutely, under no circumstances, can ignore.
Listen, if you are having the same damn argument dream over and over again, this is an SOS. Your psyche isn't being dramatic. It's not trying to annoy you. It's being persistent because it has no other choice. A core wound is being completely ignored, and this is the only way it knows how to get through to you. And the intensity of the dream, that equals the intensity of the suppression. It's that simple. A dream with screaming, maybe even violence, doesn't mean you're violent. It means you have been dangerously silent about something for way, way too long. Think of it like this. The louder the dream argument, the longer the real feeling has been buried. So let's just recap these high urgency alerts. That recurring fight, it means a core wound is unaddressed. You have to get help. That violent screaming fight, it just reflects the sheer intensity of what you've suppressed. And if you're having that fight out in public, Oh, that's all about shame. It reveals a deep, paralyzing fear of being judged for your truth. A fear that if people really saw you, you'd be humiliated. So, okay, now you know the signals. But here's the thing. Listening is not enough. This isn't some academic exercise in dream interpretation. No, this is your call to action. And sometimes in the rarest and most beautiful dreams, your psyche actually shows you the way out. If you dream of an argument that actually resolves, that ends in peace, that dream is a sign that you are ready. You're ready to have the real conversation. You're ready to let go of the wound. The healing is already starting. Because the whole point is to respond to the signal, right? So here is exactly how you do it. Step 1, write it down. The words, the feelings, the people, get it all out of your head. Step 2, identify the core conflict. Is this internal? Is it relational? Is it about your power? You have to name it. And step 3, and listen to me, this is the most critical part. You must take one small, real-world action within the next 72 hours. Write the letter. Start the conversation. Say the thing you've been terrified to say. Do not wait. Because ultimately, it all comes down to this one thing. Your subconscious isn't whispering anymore. It's not dropping subtle hints. Your dreams are screaming. They are screaming the truth at you, night after night after night. So the only question left is, are you ready to listen?
Part 3. What do you do the moment you wake up from that argument dream?
Okay, let's get one thing straight. What follows? These are not suggestions. They're not, nice ideas to think about later. No, these are practices. And the time to start isn't this weekend, it's today, right now.
All right, let's dive in. First up, tools for the mind. We're talking about the practices that are going to help you excavate all those hidden conflicts that are fueling your dreams.
So if you're a woman who journals, listen up. This is your new daily diagnostic tool. The second you wake up, and I mean before your phone, before coffee, you perform this dream argument autopsy. Ask yourself, who was I fighting? What was it about? And here's the big one, what was I trying to protect? Then you hit it with the absolute killer question. Where in my waking life is this exact fight happening right now? Just, a lot more quietly.
And let me be clear, this is not optional. Because what you don't dig up on purpose, well, it will find its own way out. It will claw its way out through your body, through your health, through your relationships. Trust me, the bill always, always comes due.
Now for the analytical woman out there. You know who you are. You think in spreadsheets and case files. You are going to map this dream out. 2 columns. What happened in the dream and what this might mirror in my waking life. Just the facts. Be objective. And then you go digging. You look for that core belief hiding underneath it all. Is it, I am not heard? Is it, I am not safe? You have to name it.
And why does this even matter? Because those unexamined beliefs, they are running your entire life on autopilot. We're talking your career, your love life, everything. You absolutely cannot afford to let them operate in the dark any longer.
For my spiritually inclined women, this is for you. We're talking about intentional ritual. And no, this is not superstition, okay? Think of it as psychological technology. It's powerful. You just create a small sacred space, a candle, a stone, whatever means something to you. You sit for just 5 minutes and ask one powerful question. What is this dream asking me to release, and what is it asking me to claim?
Because without some kind of practice to actually hear your own inner wisdom, these dreams, they're just noise. And a woman who can't hear her own soul, she is not just running on empty. No, she is running full speed straight towards a brick wall.
Okay, next up, tools for the body. We have to take this out of your head and get it into your physical self. Why? Because your body stored the emotional charge from that dream as if it actually happened. Your nervous system, it doesn't know the difference. So listen to me. Before you try to analyze a single thing, you move. For 5, maybe 10 minutes. Walk, dance, shake it out. I don't care what it is. Just move. And while you're moving, pay attention. Really scan your body. Where is that tension living? Is it in your jaw, your chest, that knot in your stomach, your throat? Bingo. That's it. That is the physical location of everything you haven't said out loud.
And here's the urgent part. That stuck emotional energy, it doesn't just dissolve. It doesn't magically disappear. It builds up, it accumulates, and it becomes chronic pain, that bone-deep exhaustion, actual illness. Movement is not a luxury. It is essential, non-negotiable maintenance.
Okay, creatives, this one's for you. I want you to forget words for a minute. Meet the dream in its own language. Images. Draw it, paint it, get it out of your head and onto a page where you can actually see it. And then, now this is the really powerful part, you change the ending. You paint the resolution you needed. This is not about being delusional. This is conscious dream revision. You're taking your power back.
Your psyche uses images for a reason. Some things are just too big, too deep for words. This practice honors that. It's a direct conversation.
And finally, tools for the voice. This is where we talk about truth and getting help. This is where you take what's been happening on the inside and bring it out into the world.
Okay, if you are in a relationship, this is critical. If you dream you're fighting with your partner, a clock has just started ticking. You have a 24-hour window. Your only job in that window is to surface one real suppressed truth. Not the whole messy fight, just one true thing you've been swallowing. Your dream is a giant flashing alarm bell telling you that your silence is now way more dangerous than speaking up.
Why? Because the truths you swallow, they don't just disappear. They stay, and they harden, they calcify. They become that rock of resentment in your gut. They become that weird distance between you two that nobody can explain. They become the slow, painful death of intimacy.
Okay, now for the non-negotiables. And I mean it. If you are having the same damn argument dream over and over again, this is not a suggestion anymore. It's an instruction. Get a therapist. And listen, this is not because you're broken. It's because you are a human being and your psyche is screaming at the top of its lungs for backup.
And I know that can feel overwhelming, so here's your first step. It's tiny. This week, your only job is to look up one therapist. Just one. You don't have to call, you don't have to book it yet. Step 1 is just to look. That's it. Step 2 is to book.
Think about someone like Zelda Fitzgerald. She had these raging argument dreams because her real life offered zero safe space for her truth. You live in a completely different time. You have options she could not have even conceived of. Use them.
She had no framework to understand what her dreams were telling her.
She had no language for what her soul was screaming.
And she had absolutely no safe space where her truth would be welcomed.
But you do. You have the tools. You have the language. You have the awareness. So the only question left is, will you listen?